All right, let's go ahead and see if we can't wrap up our chapter on bonds payable. So it looks like for the slides that we covered in class 37 through 44, which is the end of the chapter, we got one question at the bottom of this page, multiple choice question. It says, when the corporation issuing the bonds has the right to redeem the bonds prior to maturity, the bonds are convertible, unsecured, debenture, or callable bonds. Okay? So we need to ask ourselves, why would the company do this, the corporation? Why would they redeem the bonds early? It's because they're paying too much interest. The contract rate of interest on the bonds, let's say it's 5%. Now the market rate of interest is 4%. Well, we're overpaying interest. We're paying too much interest. All right. And we said in class, and in case you don't have me for class, that's okay, but we said in class that just about that a large number of bond indentures, which is a bond contract, contain what is called a call provision. This is a safety measure for the issuing corporation in case interest rates go way down. Okay, it's a measure to help them save money. They can call those bonds in, pay them off, and issue new bonds at a lower rate of interest. So we call it a call provision because, you guessed it, these are callable bonds. So D is our answer. Let's look at what we have on the back side of the page. Let's keep bringing it down. Okay, there we go. Yeah, right there. So we got a true-false question. It says, gains and losses on the redemption of bonds are reported as other income loss on the income statement. Well, we need to know what kind of stuff is recorded as other income and loss on the income statement, and these would be items that are not part of a company's day-to-day operations. Transactions that impact net income, but are not a part of normal operating profit and loss. Okay, so this, whenever we have gains and losses, whether we're selling a fixed asset or whether we're redeeming a bond, whatever the case may be, we will place those gains and losses in the other income loss section down at the bottom of the income statement, making this a true statement. Okay. When bonds are, let's see here, when callable bonds are redeemed below the carrying amount, we've got four choices. So we've got the carrying amount, and so we need to know what the carrying amount is. So the carrying amount equals the bond payable minus the discount on bond payable, or the bond payable plus the premium on bonds payable. That's the carrying amount. All right? So this is the amount net that's going to show up on the liability portion for this bond. All right? So if we have this situation happen, we are getting rid of the liability and the bond at the carrying amount for less, because it says we are redeeming these callable bonds below the carrying amount. Well, this is like if we owe somebody $20 and we pay them $19 and our debt goes away. we just gained $1, didn't we? We did. So this is the correct answer. We would record immediately a gain on redemption of bonds payable is credited. Gains are always credited, losses are always debited. So this is going to be the best answer. There's another answer on here that you could look at, but this is by far, this is what we're getting at right here, choice A. And looks like we might have an opportunity to kind of show this in action. Bonds payable has a balance of $1 million and discount on bond payable has a balance of $10,000. If the issuing corporation redeems the bonds at 97.5, what is the amount of gain or loss on redemption? So I want to come back and look at the previous question. So we need to determine what the carrying amount of these bonds is. The bond payable, so we've got $1 million here, which is the bond payable. But then we also have a discount on bonds payable balance of $10,000. Well, if we look right here, the carrying amount, we're going to subtract the discount on bonds payable from the bonds payable amount to arrive at the carrying amount. So if we were to do that, discount on bonds payable, our carrying amount is $990,000. Okay? Then what we want to do to make sure we don't mess this up, I'm going to take this $1 million times 0.975 or 97.5%, and we're going to come up with $975,000. And this is, let me fix this 9 a little bit. This is our redemption amount. So it cost us $975,000 to get rid of a bonds payable liability with a carrying amount of $990,000. So this would be a gain for the difference between 990 and I gotta fix this. This is driving me nuts. Between 990,000 and 975, that is going to be a $15,000 gain. We paid less to redeem the bond issue than the carrying amount. That means we have a gain. The next question. Bonds payable has a balance of $1 million and discount on bonds payable has a balance of $15,500. If the issuing corporation redeems the bonds at 98.5, what is the amount of gain or loss on redemption? So this is basically the exact same question, but with different numbers. So, okay, that's fine. We'll get a little bit more practice here. $1 million for the bond payable. And let's see here. Discount on bonds payable is a subtraction from the liability amount. So we're going to take $15,500 as the discount on bonds payable, which is what we did in the exact same in the question just above it, just for different amounts. So let's look at $1 million minus $15,500 is going to give us $984,500, and this represents the carrying amount. Okay. Says here that they redeemed the bonds at 98.5. So we got to go over here and take 1 million times 0.985, and that equals 985,000. So 985,000. Let's see here. I'm just going to draw this out real quick. 1 million. Yeah, those commas in there. Times 0.9 equals $985,000, and we again call this the redemption amount. Okay? So we got rid of a carrying amount of $984,500, but it cost us more than that. It cost us $985,000 to redeem this bond issue. Therefore, we have a $500 loss. 985,000. Well, let's do it different. Let's just do it backwards so we can get it. 984,500 minus 985 negative 500. Call that a loss. Got a couple more questions, and then we will call it quits. A $300,000 bond was redeemed at 104 when the carrying amount of the bond was $316,000. The entry to record the redemption would include a, and then we have some choices. So they've given us the carrying amount equals $316,000. This is the amount that we have over in the liabilities section for this bond issue. So we got to take these $300,000 worth of bonds, and we have to multiply them by what? By 104. 300,000 times 1.04, or 104% of 300,000 equals 312,000 times 1.04 equals 312,000. Okay, so we got rid of bonds payable with a carrying amount of 360,000 for 312,000. So we need to look for an answer that has 316,000 is what our carrying amount was, minus the amount of redemption, 312,000, 4,000, and this is a gain. We redeemed for less than the carrying amount. That is a gain, and that matches with choice C. So let's circle it, because that's the right answer. Last question, and then I'll be quiet. Bonds payable has a balance of $1 million, and premium on bonds payable has a balance of $7,000. If the issuing corporation redeems the bonds at 101, what is the amount of gain or loss on redemption? Okay. Getting a lot of practice with this. We're going to get it all right on the test. $1 million bond payable premium on bonds payable is an addition, because remember, if we had done this in the beginning, we would have got $1,007,000. Now that's not what happened. This is just the remaining premium on bonds payable. We're going to add these, and that's going to give us $1,007,000. And this is going to be our carrying amount. Yep. So, what is the redemption amount? We take the same $1 million and we're going to multiply it by 1.01. $1 million times 1.01, 101% of a million, equals 1,010,000. And this is our redemption amount. Okay, so we got rid of bonds with a total carrying amount of $1,007,000. However, it cost us $1,010,000 to do so. And I want to say one thing. Don't give up just yet. I want to go ahead. We know what the answer is. We have a $1,000 loss. But you say, well, why would the company do this? Well, because if the company is paying significantly too much interest, okay, yes, they might lose $3,000 on this bond redemption, but they might be saving over the long term much more than that. In fact, they almost certainly will be saving much more than that. How much more? Well, it depends on how much more time they're going to be overpaying interest and how much they can save by redeeming this in the long run. So we take a $3,000 loss now, but the corporation might easily save many times that in future interest by going ahead and calling this issue now. All right?